Her eyes seemed abnormally alive, in a face drained of color, as if her consciousness remained untouched in a body broken by exhaustion. He made her sit down and slipped his arm along the back of the couch, not touching her, yet holding her in a protective embrace. "Now tell me," he asked, "where were you?" "I can't tell you that. I've given my word never to reveal anything about it. I can say only that it's a place I found by accident when I crashed, and I left it blindfolded, and I wouldn't be able to find it again." "Couldn't you trace your way back to it?" "I won't try." "And the man?" "I won't look for him."
"He remained there?"
"I don't know."
"Why did you leave him?"
"I can't tell you."
"Who is he?"
Her chuckle of desperate amusement was involuntary. "Who is John Galt?" He glanced at her, astonished, but realized that she was not joking.
"So, there is a John Galt?" he asked slowly.
"Yes."
"That slang phrase refers to him?"
"Yes."
"And it has some special meaning?"
"Oh, yes. There's one thing I can tell you about him, because I discovered it earlier, without promise of secrecy. He is the man who invented the motor we found."
"Oh."
He smiled as if he should have known it. Then he said softly, with a glance that was almost compassion,
"He's the destroyer, isn't he?"
He saw her look of shock and added,
"No, don't answer me if you can't. I think I know where you were. It was Quentin Daniels that you wanted to save from the destroyer, and you were following Daniels when you crashed, weren't you?"
"Yes."
"Good God, Dagny. Does such a place really exist? Are they all alive? Is there—" "I'm sorry. Don't answer."
She smiled. "It does exist." He remained silent for a long time. "Hank, could you give up Reardon Steel?"
"No."
The answer was fiercely immediate, but he added with the first sound of hopelessness in his voice,
"Not yet."
Then he looked at her as if in the transition of his 3 words he had lived the course of her agony of the past month.
"I see," he said.
He ran his hand over her forehead with a gesture of understanding, of compassion, of an almost incredulous wonder.
"What hell you've now undertaken to endure,"
he said, his voice low. She nodded. She slipped down to lie stretched, her face on his knees. He stroked her hair. He said,
"We'll fight the looters as long as we can. I don't know what future is possible to us, but we'll win, or we'll learn that it's hopeless. Until we do, we'll fight for our world. We're all that's left of it."
She fell asleep lying there, her hand clasping his. Her last awareness, before she surrendered the responsibility of consciousness, was the sense of an enormous void, the void of a city and of a continent, where she would never be able to find the man whom she had no right to seek.